Alright, so here's everything that happens once you finish school. This video is ideally for any younger guys out there, so if you're 16 years old and you're finishing school, or you might even be finishing high school, right? This video is mainly for guys who are younger, but if you're older, it still might be relatable, especially if you're finishing like university or sixth form or college or whatever people call it, right? It's pretty applicable, right? But anyways, here's where you are right now. You've just finished exams and you've just had Leavers Day or prom or summer ball, whatever it is, right? You've just finished your exams and you've just had Leavers Day. This is something that a lot of you don't realize, right? You have such a long summer. Like, genuinely, you have the longest summer out of any year group, out of any age, out of any person in school, right? You have the longest time outside of education where you don't need to be in school, you don't need to be worrying about exams, and on top of that, you don't need to be worrying about revising and all this other stuff, right? You have such a long summer. I remember when I was in year 11, I think I finished on June 27th, and then I went back in September. So that's like basically 3 months, right? July, August, and then yeah, September, right? So it was even longer than that because you finish exams and then you're free from there, right? And I finished my exams quite early, right? So you have such a long summer, right? 3 months of no school. 3 months of no school is like 90 days. Like, you can change your life in 90 days, right? Here's the thing that I wanted to say is, right, most of you will waste it. Like, you will have such a long summer. Like, your summer will be 3 months, maybe 2 months, right? Like, literally 6 weeks, 8 weeks of just completely no school, right? No commitment to education. You'll have such a long summer. Yet most of you, right? I say most of you because I'm accurate when I say this. Like 90 to 95% of you will waste it, right? And this is where I put this bit at the bottom, right? Where I spoke about how I'd have like the best summer ever. Like, I remember when I was in year 11, I remember I spoke to my friends and I was like, yo, boys, I'm going to do MMA. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to build a business. I'm going to manage this relationship I'm in. I'm going to do all these things, right? I said I was going to manage 5 things and I made like barely any progress, right? And it was the same with everyone else in my year group. Like, loads of people said the year 11 summer was going to be the best summer, and it just wasn't. Like, there'd be a few parties here and there, right? But other than that, it was just like nothing special, right? So you can probably relate to this, right? You said you'll have the best summer, but chances are right now, from where you are, like from whenever you're watching this video, you're in your summer, you might not be, right? It probably wasn't that special, and it probably isn't as special as you thought it'd be, right? And this is really important for you to understand because you have this anticipation of how good things will be, and it just doesn't live up to it, right? So that's the first thing I want to speak about, right? This is basically where you are right now, and I just wanted to talk about how you have such a long summer, but most of you will waste it. And I want to move on to the next slide because this is by far the most interesting slide of the entire video, so you might want to listen up to this bit, right? Everyone in your year group, I promise you when I say this, right, this is me saying this with complete conviction, everyone in your year group will fall off. And I'm not saying one or two people, I'm not saying groups, I'm saying everyone. And like, literally, I've even highlighted here, even the popular guys and girls, right? Even the people in your year group who are so popular, who are so high up, they will fall off, right? Just trust me on this, right? I've seen this happen to myself. I've seen this happen to younger year groups. Like, it's just basically this well-known thing, right? Everyone after school falls off, right? And there's a big reason for this, right? When you're in school, right, you have the structure, right? You have the structure where you just wake up, you go to school, you have 5 lessons, you get to go home at 3, and then your schedule is basically just based off of what you do after school and what you do before school. And then it's basically like what you do on the weekends, right? So you have this balanced structure where you can like move things around. When you finish school, that just disappears, right? That structure that you've had for like 4 years just disappears, right? And a lot of people, when you're not self-directed, you haven't got a purpose, you haven't got like an idea of what you want to do, you'll fall into bad habits. You'll start scrolling more. The people in your year group will start partying more. They'll start drinking more. And what's interesting about drinking and partying is you can visibly see in someone's face. Like, this is just like, I've noticed this, right? And this is like, I've noticed this in the people I've been around, even myself, right? Like, when you drink a lot, like, your facial structure changes, the way your skin texture changes, like, everything about you just changes, right? Especially when you're like drinking liters and liters, right? Like, I know people that drink like bottles of vodka like a night, right? It's not unheard of, right? So everyone falls off. Everyone in your year group will eventually, right, regardless of when it is, like, they'll start doing bad habits more. They'll stop like being as productive. They'll start scrolling on TikTok. They'll start doing all these like shitty bad habits, right? So everyone falls off, bro. No one's an exception to this. Even I'm not an exception to the rule, right? I fell off a little bit when I was in year 12. So after when I finished year 11, like, I had some structure during like the holidays, right? And then after that, I kind of fell off a little bit, right? Because I wasn't as productive and I kind of had like this rut. And then I basically got broken up with as well, which was like more fuel to the fire, right? So yeah, everyone just falls off. This is the timeline, right, which I wanted to talk about. Like, this is so interesting. It was quite funny when I was drafting it because of how accurate it is, right? The timeline goes as follows, right? You waste your year 11 summer, right? Loads of people say they don't. Some people say they traveled. Some people say they I mean, you can say you traveled, but you basically just went away with your parents for like a week, right? So you didn't really travel. You'll waste your summer. That's the truth, right? You'll waste your summer. And after you've wasted your summer, right, in September, you'll go back to school or college or sixth form or whatever formal education you're in, right? And you'll adjust into it. And this part's exciting, right? I'm going to be honest with you. This part is very exciting. Like, I'm not going to cover it up. September to December of like sixth form, when you go back and there's these new social circles, it's so exciting. You're seeing new people, especially if you move to like a new area. Like if you go to a different sixth form, or you go to a new college, or you go to like a new area entirely, it is so exciting. You're seeing people you've never seen before. There's this attractive girl, there's that attractive girl, there's these group of guys. Like, you're just getting familiarized with the environment, right? And this part can be exciting, right? Because especially if you go to a new school, you're looking at a different teaching style, you're looking at a different structure for how things are managed, right? The food there might be good, right? You know, I just like food, so that just might be a part of it, right? So yeah, literally the first part of the year is exciting. But here's the thing, when you get to that age, when you finish school and like you basically have, my nose, when you have like way more freedom, like people are going to have part-time jobs, and basically everyone will start working part-time. A lot of the people your age will work part-time. So if you're 16, 17, everyone your age will most likely get a part-time job, and the freedom that you get is very short-lived because you think, why is my nose bugging? Yeah, sorry about that. Loads of the people your age will get part-time jobs, and then they'll like basically lose a lot of their time. Oh, my nose is so fucked. So yeah, I mean, people work part-time jobs that they're not fulfilled with, and then eventually, right, this happens to everyone, eventually by like January, February times, maybe a bit earlier, right, school gets stale. You've seen the same people, you might have gone to a few parties, right, you might have like networked with a few people, you might have like gotten to know some more people, right, but by January or February, right, I'll probably put this as like a little note here, if I can write. This looks like it says Phoebe, but it's Feb. Oh, I just can't draw with this like little trackpad, right? So yeah, by January or February, everyone will basically be stale, school will be boring, and like I said, this links into how everyone falls off, right? You need to understand this, right? This is the most crucial part in the entire video. Everyone falls off and it's not really spoken about. The next thing is actually a massive, massive thing that I've seen pop up everywhere, and everyone that I've like spoken to has always seen this, right? And there's always this narrative, right? And it's that this is the massive lie people will tell you, right? And I'll get to this in a second as to why it's a massive lie, right? But I promise you, if you're like an older guy, you've seen this message everywhere. Even younger guys have seen this, right? You probably see TikToks of this, right? And I've got a video that I'm going to play after, right? And it's that life just goes downhill after year 11. You see this so much. You genuinely see this like propaganda, this message, like plastered everywhere on TikTok. Whenever the school year ends, you always see a video of like, life just goes downhill after finishing year 11. Life was the best when I was in school. This is complete bullshit, right? And I'm going to get to that in a second, right? But first and foremost, let me just watch this video, which is, it's quite interesting. I got sent this, so let's watch this together.
You see, they said the moment you leave year 11, life goes downhill. I did not think they meant that, bro. Why am I making myself stay in bed for longer? Because then if I wake up earlier and I freshen up, I get dressed, do whatever, I have nothing to do. There's nothing to do. So that's why I have to force myself to stay in bed for longer. So when I freshen up, it'll be later. So there's more things to do. What the why is life so... Right. Since when was life like
this? Let's pause it. That's kind of funny, but at the same time, right, we need to get serious here because I need to talk about something important, right? This is something I'm going to say, right, and this is just a truth, right? You need to listen to me when I say this. Let's get rid of this as well because you need to focus on what I'm saying here. Your life is only shit if you have no structure. If you're not doing anything productive, you're not training consistently, you don't have anything to anchor your routine around, you're basically just rocking up to school and you're just basically just wandering through the day without having like a specific checkpoint of what you want to do as each part of the day, you will fall off, right? I promise you. The same people that say that school like was the best years of their life and that year 11 was the best and like life goes downhill after year 11, I promise you these are people you don't want to be around. Like all the people that say that like literally scroll on social media for hours a day, eat junk food and order like takeaways and shit to their house and like every Saturday or Friday evening, right, if they haven't gone out. They're the same people who will tell you that you being ambitious is a bad thing. Like these are just people that are just lower quality, right? So this is a massive lie people will tell you. Anyone who tells you that life goes downhill after year 11 is just a lower quality human being. You can trust me on when I say that, right? If anyone says, "Oh, why do you think that?" Just say, "Right, like what?" Send them to this video, right? Because Ryan said it, right? Anyone who tells you life goes downhill after year 11 is just a complete piece of shit, right? Don't have them in your life, right? Because the whole point, right, of life is to what? Is to improve, it's to grow, it's to develop, right? So if you're 16 years old, you have so much of your life left. Like, I don't know about you, but my life has been amazing since I finished school, right? Since I left all these like other random like pieces of shit in my year group and I'm not around them, my life is amazing. Like, genuinely, I'm doing the best I can. I'm basically meeting new people every day. Like, my social media is growing. I'm networking and my life's amazing, right? So anyone who tells you, right? Anyone who tells you life is like bad, life is horrible after like after year 11, they're just lying to you and they have shit lives. They basically have a life you don't want and they don't have a life I want. They work part-time jobs they don't enjoy, and yeah, they're just not people you want to be around, right? Part-time jobs aren't bad, by the way. I'm not saying they're bad. I think they're actually really useful depending on where you look at things, and I'll probably get into that in another video as to why like they can be good, but they can also be, it's a double-edged sword, right? Full-time jobs are bullshit, but we'll get to that in another video, right? This is another thing that I want to talk about, right? And you'll see this like so much, right? This is, I call this the car dilemma. And when you're 17, right, when you finish like school, right, you're year 11, from September, right, everyone's going to be getting cars. Like the whole way you get status will be, you'll see like getting a car, right? So you'll see people getting a car, you'll see people driving around, right? And this is something I believe, right? This is just like a crucial piece of advice that you need to understand, right? It's literally mandatory. You have to get your license as soon as possible. If your birthday's in September, do your theory, get your practical books, and just pass your driving as soon as possible. Trust me, if you like, I put age 17 to 19, right? Because this is an important age bracket. I promise you, right? If you don't pass your like driving between these ages, you just don't pass your driving. Like, you'll just be that one random person who's just like 20 years old without a car or without a driving license, right? So you need to get your driving license ASAP, right? It's a bit expensive now. Like, I think I did mine for like, can't remember how much it was for, but like my lessons were like £30 an hour, which is quite cheap, right? I can't remember the exact number, right? But yeah, it's quite expensive, but you need to get your license. Getting your license as soon as possible is like a mandatory step. If you're a guy, you need to be able to drive a car like between these ages, right? And I've highlighted this below as well. Getting a car is not completely necessary, right? This is important as well. This is as equally as important as this one, right? And I'm going to get to that on a new slide, right? This is where shit gets very expensive very, very quickly, right? And I'm not even joking when I say this, right? I'm going to list everything and you're going to be like, yeah, Raihan is so fucking right when I say this, right? First and foremost, let's calculate all the costs it requires like an average person to do a driving lesson, right? And let's just calculate this. I'm not doing this to scare you. I'm just doing this because it's honest, right? First and foremost, you have to do your theory, right? So your theory will be like what, like £34, which is like nothing, right? It's like so dirt cheap, right? You've got a theory, which is £34. Driving lessons will rape you. Like, I'm not even joking, right? Like, they literally cost so much now. I think it's like £85 for 2 hours, which is like mental, right? £85 for 2 hours is like crazy, right? So that'd be like 42. So what's that? 42.5, right? So 42.5. I can't even draw today. What's going on? 42.5 pounds an hour, right? That's how much it costs an hour, right? The average person does what, like 20 hours? I mean, I did 20 hours, right? You can get it cheaper if you do like a block booking, so you do multiple lessons. But most people need 20 to 40 hours, right? Like, I think like the government published this thing, right, saying that you need like 40 hours to be a driver. Imagine you times that by fucking 40. Like, I don't even have my phone on me. Look, let's just calculate this, right? We'll see how cooked it gets. All right, we've done the maths and it's 1700. So let's say you do like 40 hours of driving lessons, which is like, it's quite a lot, but some people need that much, right? 1700. So then all of a sudden you're like paying 1,700 on top of this, right? And then on top of that, you're like, I'll put this as driving lessons. Hold on. So that's just like driving lessons, right? You haven't even passed your driving test at this point. It's like 1,700, add theory. But some people don't, like, this is the thing. This is only if you pass your theory first time. Like, genuinely, loads of people, I know people in person, right, that have like passed their theory like 4th time, 5th time round. So this can easily get to like £100, right? So this is where it gets cooked, right? So your theory is like £34. Your driving lessons is around like 1.5 grand, 1.7 grand. Some people can do up to 2 grand, right? And then you've obviously got your like driving test, which you have to pay for. And yeah, your driving lesson is like £62, right? This is just basically just to pass. This is without getting a car. This is just without like basically, this is just to get your license, right? Some people are like very smart, like they'll manage to like chunk off a lot of the driving lessons because they learn with their parents. That's another thing as well. If you can learn with your parents, that's gold standard. Try and learn how to like drive a car without an instructor, because it will save you money. And if you understand cars, like I've never really been like this. I know like when I was younger, like there's always been people who are just obsessed with cars, like other guys my age. I've never been like that, right? So if you understand a lot about cars, you'll probably pass really quickly, right? So this is probably around like, let's say this is like, let's just round this up, right? 1700, let's say you fail your theory 3 times, right? That's like 100, right? 1800, add 62, like basically 1862, right? So 1860, right? And on top of that, right, you passed, you've got your license, hooray, well done. And then you have to get a car, right? I mean, some people want nice cars, right? So you're going to be spending like 4 grand, right? 4,000. I'm just going to put 4K because otherwise you're going to see my grade 4 GCSE art skills. But yeah, 4K for a car, right? So then now all of a sudden we've gone from 4K to like what, like 6K. And then on top of that, your insurance, right? If you're a girl, right, you can get a car for like 800. You can get like a nice little Fiat 500 and then get like your insurance for like under £1,000 a year, right? Like most guys are paying 4K for for a good car. And on top of that, you're paying like over like 2K for insurance, right? You can obviously lower it by doing like illegal methods like fronting and shit, which is what I do, but like I'm not promoting that at all. And if the DVSA are watching this, I'm not promoting this at all, right? So then let's say you're driving, it's like 6K, right? And then you add the other numbers, 8K, right? I know people who spend up to 10K in total, right? So 10K, right? 10K is basically just spent on like driving lessons and right, and just being able to park a car, like drive a car, right? And then you have to pay for petrol, MOT, fixing your car. Like it gets expensive real quick, right? Which is the reason why I'm saying like getting a car is not completely necessary. Like loads of people think you need to get a car. Like you're basically just signing yourself up for like a payment that it's just like required of you, right? Obviously some people's parents will help out and that's amazing, right? Like my parents help out, like it's an amazing thing, right? If you have parents that are supportive, that's great. But on top, like most people's parents are going to want you to pay like a bit for like the lessons or whatever. So yeah, that's why I want to say getting a car isn't completely necessary. Like with me, I can drive, and I was driving illegally for ages. I shouldn't have said that. I've been driving for ages, and I was driving it way before I got my like license, right? So yeah, it was cooked, right? I was just driving for like months before like I had my license, right? I'm joking, by the way. Like if the government are watching this, like this is a complete joke. So yeah, like make sure you drive, get your license. I think I've got my license somewhere. I don't know if it's here, just to show you that I'm not like some complete bum who hasn't passed their test. Where the fuck is it? Here we go. See, I've actually passed it, right? So it's just important that you pass your driving. Like again, like getting a car isn't completely necessary because you can literally get a car in like one day. Like you just sign some paperwork, give a bank transfer, and the car's yours, right? Sometimes you'll need to get like a black box or some shit, right? And it's like, who gives a fuck, right? Just install it 3 weeks later and drive like you don't care for the first 3 weeks. Again, I'm not promoting this as driving advice. It's just, yeah. So yeah, I mean, this is basically what I'm saying for driving. Like if you're a young guy and you're like 16 years old, get a partial license ASAP and then only get a car if it's actually suitable. So if you live far away and you need to like network everywhere, get a car. If you just want to have it to like try and get the attention of like low quality girls from your year group and other guys who don't really care, but you don't actually need one. As long as you can drive, you're chilling, right? Like it's just chill, right? So yeah, I mean, this is just a car dilemma. I really wanted to talk about this because a lot of people were probably going to be like thinking about this, right? It's always good to talk about things that people think about but never talk about. So yeah, and then the last slide I want to talk about is I'm going to give you now the best route, right? This is the best route that I found to be like the case. This is basically what I did, right? So I remember when I finished year 11, I really just prioritized fitness in the gym. Like I loved the gym and I loved training. Like when I finished school, like when I finished year 11, I was just obsessed with the gym and training, right? And this is what I want to give to you as well, right? Like I want to give this like advice to you. And it's that just prioritize your fitness, like prioritize the gym, prioritize building like an amazing muscular physique, like a jacked physique, right? And then also alongside that, you want to obviously pattern your diet, pattern your sleep, have a good workout program, and then optimize meal timings so then you can make progress, right? And this is exactly what I did during year 12. I went from, this was when I was at the end of year 11, where I was 182 centimeters tall, which is it's just under 6 foot. So I was like 5'11.9995, right? Basically 6 foot. And I was weighing in at 76 kilograms. My body fat was quite high as well. So like, I was a bit flabby, right? And then in like less than a year, I basically grew to like, this is like 6'1" point something. And then I grew taller as well. So this was a while after, right? And then I gained like 12 kilograms, right? Literally up just muscle, right? Like literally just 12 kilograms, right? Literally in like 6 months, I grew like 2 inches, 3 inches taller. And I also just got heavier and bigger, right? Like visibly, I was just like a bigger guy, right? And everyone around me who I went to school with noticed as well. Like, I remember when I was in year 11, I was like I wasn't insecure about my height, but I was like kind of like, I was tall, but I wasn't tall, and it was just weird, right? And then when I finished year 11, I kind of like shot up, right? I just randomly just shot up, right? In the space of like 6 months, right? My growth plates were cooking up. So I shot up in height, went from 6 foot to like 6'2", and then in shoes, I was like slightly taller, right? So then on top of that, I gained a lot of weight, right? 76 kilos to like basically 90, which is like 14 kilos added, right? And if you're like a tall guy and you're heavy as well, like people respect you, right? Like guys just be like, will just look at you and be like, fucking hell, this guy's huge, right? Like it's a problem, right? And then girls will just want to get wet. So I'm joking. That's another joke. So yeah, that's basically it. Like this is basically what I would, this is what I did. Prioritize fitness, prioritize the gym, prioritize training, prioritize these things, right? Also another thing, let me get rid of my progress here for a sec. This shit will take a lot of your time, right? If you're training like in the right ways, this shit will take up like literally 80% of your time, right? Getting a good diet, getting enough calories in, getting your macros in, getting enough sleep, preparing for sleep, right? Having a workout program that's like auto-regulated by RPE. I have like an app for it that just basically does everything for me, right? And then meal timing, you need to have like, some people have 3 to 4 meals a day, some people have 5, I don't, right? Just as long as you get your calories and macros in, you're fine. Meal timing, this shit is so consuming. Like, I'm just realizing this now, right? Like looking back on what it was like when I was training and what it is like when I'm training, it's just a non-stop, like it's just part of your life, right? And this is the thing, it's like it's always worth it, right? When you're walking around with the physique that no one else has, when you're walking around with like a good frame and you're just confident, like people notice that, right? A physique can't be bought. Like you can't buy it. It's just a definition of results and hard work, right? And you get the best of both worlds, right? Guys respect you, guys see, okay, this guy's worked hard, and girls just find you more attractive, right? At least in my case. Some people train for years and still look like shit. My genetics are good, my response to training's good, so it's obviously variable, right? And then on top of that, right, this is important, right? Focus on the gym, boys. Like literally the best piece of advice I'd give. If you're just finishing school, focus on training, actually give yourself some time to make progress, all right? The next thing is just, you don't need to have everything figured out. Like I used to think about this when I was younger. I used to think, oh, I need to have everything figured out. I need to have everything sorted. You don't actually need to. The best thing I would say is just start to think about what you'd enjoy long term. Like if you enjoy fitness, try and become like a PT or something, right? I'm not telling you to do that, but like you see how things link, right? If you like fitness and you enjoy it and basically try and make it a career, right? Because at the end of the day, right, everyone works a job for money. Right, we all need money to survive, right? Anyone who says money doesn't matter and stuff like that's bullshit, right? And they're just people you don't want to be around, right? They're fake people, right? Money matters, 100%, right? You can make money doing anything, so why would you make money in a career or job you don't like when you could just make money online and just basically try and build like a income, right? Part-time jobs are fine as well. Like if you work a part-time job, that gives you a little bit of money and you can save it up and basically save it up for like going on trips or like doing stuff like that. I think it's amazing. Like I think part-time jobs, if you frame them right and you work at a place that you enjoy, can be really, really good. So yeah, regardless of the job, just start to think about what you'd enjoy doing long term. Like you don't need to just try and write down on a piece of paper and do this autistically. Just start to think about what you'd enjoy doing long term. This is what I wish I knew. Like I wish I knew that you just need to start thinking about it. Like you don't need to basically just have mapped out what you're going to be like after year 11 or after sixth form or after like you finish college. Because this is the thing, like your teachers will deep throat you with like this whole like UCAS application, thinking about what your next steps are. They'll force you to do that shit. Like don't listen to them, right? They'll tell you some bullshit, right? Like all the teachers in my school, like UCAS this, UCAS that. I'm just like, fuck you. Like, obviously I never said that, but like, you know what I mean, right? Just think about like what you want to do long term, not what school thinks, not what your parents think, not what like your friends think. Think about what you want to do. With me, I love posting videos and I love helping people, especially guys who need me. So this is basically what I'm doing, right? I love doing this thing. So you just need to do the same thing. Try and think about what you love doing. Try and think about a way you can make money. You don't need to have like, again, I keep saying this because you don't need to have everything figured out, right? You see all this shit online where all these guys are making like 5,500K a month at like 12 years old. Like, yeah, there's ways to make money, but like you can make money doing anything. So at least pick it in something that you kind of enjoy doing, right? So yeah, just start thinking about what you want to do and you should be all right. There's not much else for me to say. There's probably like 4 other ideas that will just spring up after I've like finished recording this. So yeah, I mean, I really hope this video has helped. And if you're 16 years old, 17 years old, and you're like kind of feeling a bit lost, and you kind of feel like things are a bit like they feel bad and they don't feel like as structured, but that's completely normal. And I want you to know that that's something I went through, and it's something that loads of other guys my age and even older have basically gone through as well. Just understand that if you choose this path where you're improving yourself, you're moving away from bad habits, and then on top of that, you have all the knowledge that I've taught you in this video, and you understand that everyone falls off, and even if you fall off, it's all right, then you'll be fine. And here again, like, you can save yourself a lot of money, right, just by potentially like just getting your license and chilling out for a bit, right? You can still drive illegally. I'm joking. You can still drive, so yeah, it's not big of a deal. So yeah, I hope this video's helped, boys. And as always, there's always one last thing I say before the end of every video. Always strive for excellence, because great things will come your way. Boom.